Sadist retaking an expansion here at the bottom left natural expansion, while Gretorp is trying to take this bottom left main base. He's also secured this bottom right main base for himself. But really, Gretorp, if he can't get those resources moving, you can see he's at 1,000 minerals, but he's got no gas. He was unable to secure a third gas for the longest time, and that really started cutting back his siege tank protection. In the very early game, he had to sacrifice a lot of gas to get those that very heavy siege tank build, but then he could not secure his third base because of Sadist being up on that high ground. You can see that Sadist doing a very good job. He's got a very good minerals to gas ratio, and he's able to just keep pumping out troops like crazy from his 7 factories, and he's just keeping the pressure on with his forces. Gretorp forced to lift his natural expansion, losing that gas as well, and that's just going to keep cutting into his production capability. His mineral rate is just going to keep climbing, and there's not too much you can do about it. Despite having this expansion and this expansion online for just purely gas reasons, I think it's just going to come a little bit too late, and I think Sadist is going to be able to overrun Gretorp. You can see Sadist on the move. Gretorp looks like he wanted to reinforce this location with those siege tanks, ran right into Sadist's expansion here. Sadist pulling SCVs off the line to start damaging those siege tanks. Goliaths on the way to reinforce that expansion. Not going to be able to help these siege tanks out if Gretorp decides to do any kind of a push. Actually, Wraiths could come in right now and start taking out those siege tanks. Command center burning down. SCVs and Goliaths forcing their way up the ramp. And it looks like Sadist is going to be able to bust this expansion here in the bottom left. And Gretorp is out of minerals. I don't know what happened to his 1,000 minerals, but gone. One lone Wraith against the entirety of the... Okay, 2 lone Wraiths against the entirety of this tank army. Go Wraiths! Third Wraith just standing idly by going, yes, yes, good job. Yeah, you got to kill. That's awesome. Goliath's coming in to reinforce. And I think Gretorp's days are numbered. Losing this bottom left expansion. This this bottom right could actually get dropped on very easily and annihilated if Sadist wanted to invest the resources into doing that. But I think right now what he's going to keep trying to do is keep putting more resources into containing Gretorp in his natural and just try to slowly starve him to death. SCV's long distance mining gas. That's awesome. And what is Sadist doing? Natural expansion almost mined out. Main almost mined out. Third base going full power. Fourth base, dancing siege tank. Yes. Gretorp might end up taking this natural expansion here at the bottom right, but you'd be very hard pressed to defend it. Okay, now here comes some dropships. So Sadist is going to come in with the drop. Engineering bay is down for Gretorp, not able to put up more turrets. And Sadist is going to be able to come in and push and take out this gas and shut down this expansion. He doesn't even necessarily have to kill these siege tanks. He's just got to shut down the expansion, and he's done his job. And he's just going to keep slowly pushing his way up into Gretorp's base after taking this mineral-only expansion. Nice, missile turret. Why use Comsat when you have missile turrets? Doo-doo. Really, what Sadist could do is just get a rather large force of dropships and just, Gretorp's got quite a lot of turrets around his base, though. But he could just try to do a drop down on these supply depots and just start trying to limit Gretorp's supply, force him to rebuild those. Nice move by Sadist, bringing down a couple siege tanks to help prevent Gretorp from mining this expansion as well. Gretorp has to give up here pretty soon. He's got no minerals. He's got lots of gas now, which is what he needed earlier, but not now. Sadist has pretty much map domination. He does have map domination. He could take pretty much any expansion he wants to at any time. And it looks like Gretorp was able to slowly transfer all of his siege tanks from the high ground to low ground with that lone dropship, trying to do some kind of attack. Maybe he's trying to counter this expansion here in the bottom left, or maybe try to save this bottom right, but really taking all of those siege tanks out of his main base natural expansion is just only going to allow Sadist to push in after he destroys those troops. Siege tanks coming in. +1 weapon upgrade, by the way. Sadist also with the +1 weapon upgrade. Sadist coming in with 5 dropships. Looks like he might have been prepared, gearing up for a drop on Gretorp base. Now he's just going to mop up this tank army rather easily. A lot of forces coming down. He's just going to be able to clean this up. And Gretorp is probably, yep, there he goes. Gretorp GG's. And so that means Game 1 goes to Sadist. So we're going to go ahead and move on to Game 2. This is SonicReaver. Thanks for listening.